in a not very, say, constructive manner, then indeed we have taken this up and discussed this with the Nigerian authorities in full collaboration. Mm-hmm. And the entire process is within our judicial system, and in Finland, who operates very strictly by the rule of law, such as we see that Nigeria is doing as well. It is not a political question, but it is a question to the judicial system. And both our judicial systems do collaborate on this matter, and we hope that we will be able to close it soon. What comes to education, indeed, I guess all of us in the Nordics pride ourselves of focusing very much on human capital and education, since in order to thrive and prosper.
All right, let's go straight up to this one, because you need to understand that the issue of the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa is not actually a political issue. I just have to remind you that Simon Ekpa's issue is not a political issue. If Simon Ekpa's issue is a political issue, I think the Finnish government would have actually extradited the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. That is why, if you listened to that video very well, the starting point of that video, the British government representative, made it very clear that Mazi Simon Ekpa's case is something that will, the court will decide. The court is going to decide the fate of Simon Ekpa. And as we know, his case is coming up in May. And let me tell you, the court of Finland is not the same as the court of Nigeria that do not understand the rule of law. Initially, I was actually confused about Simon Ekpa's issue, because my problem is, why is Finland bent on holding Simon Ekpa? Why are they still holding him? Because Finland clearly stated that Simon Ekpa did not commit any crime related to terrorism, and he's not being charged for terrorism. So why is he still being held? Until I got real information that his case is going to be decided by the court. His case is going to be decided by the court, and that is why he's not yet out. For their own personal reasons. Whatever they are investigating, whatever, interrogation they are doing, is on them. But you must understand that his case is not a political case. And that is even the more reason why we are so confident that Simon Ekpa is going to come out in due time. It's as simple as that. And it is better you start believing it, because that is the reality. About extradition, you heard it. For those of you who are still scared up till now, I'm going to be dropping the news. For those of you who are still being carried by the Nigerian media, who still continue to believe the Nigerian media, who have failed to listen to the medias in Biafran land and the information we give, the reality is that there is no business that the Nigerian government has with Simon Ekpa. He can never be extradited back. That is that. Go and mark it somewhere. There is no way he can be extradited back. And that is that. And that has already stood. So every other thing that we're going to experience is May. Let us wait till May. After all, we've been waiting for so long. At least we can now hear Simon Ekpa pass information, call, his media, media team. And the reality is that when Simon Ekpa comes out, there is a lot of exposition he's going to expose. I can't wait for his first broadcast when he comes back, because a lot of things will be unveiled. Now let us go into the news proper so that you will understand, what the Finnish government, has said concerning this whole Simon Èkpá'S ordeal.
Government response to Nigeria government over the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, His Excellency Èkpá'S Simon Njoko, as federal government demand his extradition to Nigeria. Here the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel/television this very moment. Today's date is 15th of August 2024, and I have some video clips for you. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people, I do not want to talk too much about this because it's already gone viral and everybody is aware of it. But I want to point something out. There's a particular point that nobody is paying attention. When you go on Twitter, it's trending. Everybody, the genuine Biafrans are panicking. Apart from the broadcast, the emergency space of the Prime Minister yesterday. Even some people who have not listened to the Prime Minister's address are still panicking till today. So now, if you are hearing me, you have an opportunity to calm your nerves. Because I'm going to show you something, though I will play video for you. I will play the video of the woman, the Finnish Foreign Affairs Minister. I'm going to play that video for you. But before then, let us read in details from the Zoo media. And the headline from Punch newspaper Nigeria, they said, Finland pledges swift action on Simon Èkpá'S during diplomatic talks. This is their own headline, right? And if you listen to the Prime Minister's broadcast yesterday, he said that the Finnish Foreign Affairs and other delegation from the Nordic, countries, the Scandinavian countries, that the reason why they came to the zoo is not because of the Prime Minister, which is the truth, but because of the idiocy of the zoo media, that the woman granted press, briefing. They left every other thing they're supposed to talk about, both the insecurity, the hunger, the bad governance, and everything that the citizens are crying for. They were busy asking her questions about Mazi Simon Èkpá'S. That is their problem. Now, let me not read from the Punch. We are going straight to Daily Post. We are going to read in details from the Daily Post, and then I will show you something that I want to show you before playing the video for you. According to the headline from Daily Post Nigeria, they say Simon Èkpá'S case will be concluded soon. Finland assures Nigerian government. Now let's read. The Finnish government has assured Nigeria that the legal proceedings involving Simon Èkpá'S will be concluded soon. Of course, it will be concluded soon. In fact, to be honest with you, it has already been concluded. Yes, because Finland can never pay attention to the demands or pressure from the Zoological Republic, a terrorist country. A country like Finland can never pay attention to a terrorist country like the zoo. Now they continued. This was disclosed by Finland's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Elina Veltonen, after a meeting between Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, and the Foreign Minister of Sweden, Finland, Ireland, and as well as representatives from Norway and Denmark. Addressing journalists after the meeting, which held in Abuja, Veltonen said Èkpá'S case was being handled through Finland's judicial system, which operates strictly by the rule of law. Which operates strictly by the rule of law. Now pay attention. She's about to say something very, very important. Èkpá'S, who resides in Finland, had been linked to the violence in the southeast. The self-acclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra is believed to be behind those referred to unknown gunmen. There is nothing like unknown gunmen. We have Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Resistance Fighters, and of course, the Biafra Navy. We have gone beyond the era of unknown gunmen. We are now in a government. Following his link to insecurity in Nigeria, the zoo journalists, that's why we call them Zoo Govt media. Zoo Govt media. Following his insecurity, his link to insecurity in Nigeria. Which Nigeria? Somebody tells you that he is no longer involved with war, with your shenanigans, with whatever you are doing, with your name, your entity. Allow him to breathe. Allow him to be alone. Leave him alone. You are still referring Biafra land as part of Nigeria. You are not just a mad person, but you are a dumb. Now, they say some Nigerians had called on the federal government to repatriate Èkpá'S back to the country to face prosecution for his actions. Which country? To Biafra land? However, Tuggar, after the discussion with the 5 Nordic delegates, confirmed that the Èkpá'S issue was a central topic in his discussions with Vetonen. And he continued, it was a priority. There is no way Nigeria would engage with Finland without raising the issue of Simon Èkpá'S vociferously, Tuggar said. Speaking, Vetonen reaffirmed Finland's commitment to working with Nigeria on the matter. If you are referring to a specific person operating in Finland in a less than constructive manner, we have discussed this with the Nigerian authorities. Pay attention to this. Both our judicial systems are collaborating on this matter, and we hope it will soon be resolved. Both governments have stressed that the case is not a political issue, but rather a judicial one. Did you get that? Now, let me finish it and then I'll come back here. They are affirming their commitment to upholding the law as the proceedings unfold, Vetonen stated. Listen, she said here, because a lot of people did not pay attention to this. They said here, both governments have stressed that the case is not a political issue, but rather a judicial one. Of which she has already told you that their law is very, very strict. Now, if it's for the zoo government, they want it to be a political matter, which is exactly what they learned from Britain. They would have preferred it to be a political matter, because when it is a political matter, you begin to talk about relationship, bilateral relations and agreements. You begin to talk about these things. You begin to talk about give me, I give you. What am I going to gain? If I give you this person, what will I gain in return? If I do this, what will you do for me? That is politics and political. Are you paying attention? So the woman has let them know without mincing word that this matter is not political. It is going to be a judicial matter based on law of their land. Look at it. Both our judicial systems are collaborating on this matter, and we hope it will soon be resolved. Both governments, because the zoo wanted it to be, political thing, but Finland has let them know that it is a judicial thing. Both governments have stressed that the case is not a political issue, but rather a judicial one. Now, when you go up here, she said, addressing journalists after the meeting, which held in Abuja, Vetonen said Èkpá'S case was being handled through Finland's judicial system, which operates strictly by the rule of law. I don't want to go into the details of telling you what the Prime Minister said yesterday, how Finland fought their own wars, to obtain independence and all that, by force, not by beg. And this is their history. And they know how it's been done. They know how independence is being, obtained. So I don't have to go into that details because, first of all, I don't know much about their history. And again, the Prime Minister tossed everything yesterday for the whole world to hear. So that is it. Now, because I don't want to talk too much concerning this very matter, I have let you know Anybody thinking that the Finland people or Finnish government will be, handing Mazi Simon Ekpa to the zoo, you have to go and rethink. They have made it very, very categorically clear that the Prime Minister's matter is not a political issue. It has absolutely nothing to do with politics. If they had allowed it to be a political matter, just as Britain took the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on their head, and it was very heavy for them. They made it political, and they have to, use Kenya to commit the crime, because they knew if he was in their land, if he was in UK, it can never be a political matter. It would have been a judicial matter. Then they waited and used some individuals close to him to lure him to Kenya. And then they used political matters, settled the Kenya government and all that, and then they kidnapped him and renditioned him to the zoo. Because of what? They made it a political matter between the zoo, Britain, and Kenya. But Finland is telling you the truth, that it is not a political matter, rather it is a law, a judicial matter. And we are going to follow it by law, based on law. And this same law that says you have the right for self-determination, you have the right to, to free yourself from the bondage of colonization. Also, Chigona, it is over. Now I want you to watch the video. Tosalo Nomozia. And get that name right. Kilmakoski. Yeah, Kilmakoski prison in Finland. Now, the topic of today says, worldwide protest for the release of PM Simon Ekpa in all Finnish embassies. Oya working on. Everybody, Kwadobe, once the time I'll be receiving your calls and your contributions, I'm going to note it down. Once the majority carries the vote, we are not going to look at anybody's face, so that's how I do my own. We are not going to look at anybody's face. If you are waiting for anybody to give you order from somewhere, then you are going to wait until you hear another news about our Prime Minister, God forbid. So we are not here to look for anybody's face. Oh, you are not in the position to call for protest. Anybody who writes something like that, Malononya Wabu zoo agent. Anybody who writes anything like that is a zoo agent. They don't want Simon Ekpa to be out. They don't want him to be out. They want to silence him. This is the same thing DOS did during the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They after few months, then they came with their, with their, what do you call it? Their deceitful character. They came with their deceitful character and announced, every Monday sit at home, in order to deceive Biafrans, to show Biafrans that they are doing something. And they didn't know that it was going to be a massive success. Then after that very sit at home, that very first one, on the 9th of August, 2021, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned in April. April, finish, nothing from DOS. May, nothing from them. June, nothing from them. Until July 21st, China Sanwo-Olu came on Radio Biafra. Oh, if you fail to release our leader, we are going to shut down everywhere in Biafra land every Monday until you release him. This my platform na akuru China Sanwo-Olu aka. After Mpuni Nentili, Mbidolu Tibe Mpu, since from the beginning, Mbidone Timpu. Nobody should call me right now until line is open, please. Mbido from beginning, neti sompu, see, we must do something. Before you know it, Chinas and Wore and Goda. To our men on ground, everybody submit their arms, go back home, you will be called back when duty resumes. I say, for what? This is the time we needed the arms most. This is the time. Asegeni, obulog, bulumba. Why can't you stop this social media attack against an innocent man, against Mazi Simon Ekpa, and focus? Our leader is being held in the DSS dungeon without anybody seeing him. And you are here coming on radio Biafra, coming on Facebook, coming on YouTube, attacking only one man. You abandon our leader. As in, I don't understand. You abandon our leader in the hands of the enemies. And you are coming online to attack somebody. I say, no, something is wrong somewhere. I said, something is wrong somewhere. I was shouting on top of my voice every blessed evening. I was shouting. I say, no, until they make that announcement on the 21st of July, after several months of our leader being in the custody, even Obiajuba gave everybody already. Ndi carry Ike from the moment that announcement was made by Malami concerning our leader's rendition. Ndi carry Sike etiwana zobu immediately. Obiajusigo everybody because of the delay of the DOS. They waited till eternity. April, May, June, July, 4 months later. 4 good months later, this idiot came on Radio Biafra to announce it at home. That very first day, 9th of August, he chucked them. The way our people complied was so massive that China Sahangoru and Indo Tufano DOS couldn't believe it. Call call everywhere, call. Politicians calling. Now, why would you do such a thing? Why would they say we did it because we wanted to show Biafran that we want to do something for our leader? They told them go and cancel it. Fapotozie, sino mazin nam de canon order. Say I cancel sit at home. Say fano boss. I met they canceled that. They already made a vote. They made a vote online on China Sanworu's page, asking Biafrans, do you want the sit at home to continue or do you want us to cancel it? I ask myself, where is this question coming from? Did you not see the massive compliance that and the attention the sit at home received? Why would you be asking this question? Then I went to the comment section. Over 1,000 comments. 100% yes. I mean, over 1,000 comments. 100% yes. Nobody said no. But that was not enough for them because order has come from above, from their paymasters to cancel sit at home. On the 13th, on that fateful evening, they came out and said, Mazinam Dekano has given instruction to cancel sit at home. I say in there, Abiago. Even before then, because of that movement in Nonafune witness from these people called DOS, I knew they were going to cancel that sit at home. I came out and I made a broadcast and I said, if you cancel sit at home, I will fight against it. And Apomi. Fanapomi. Who be who be you to talk when DOS are talking? It's only me that came out to challenge them from the very first time